in last place on 1 point. The 47-year-old only just managed to lift and saved Hamburg from relegation last season, but they still needed a playoff to get up. Hamburg have a proud record of having played in the top division every season since its creation in 1963. Jerome Champagne, the man behind Sepp Blatter's successful 2002 election campaign, will now stand against him next year in the race to become FIFA president. World football's governing body has been run by Blatter since 1998, and he ran unopposed in the last election in 2011.
We need a FIFA which is more democratic, a FIFA which is more respected, a FIFA which behaves better, but also a FIFA which can do more. It's so important that this election cannot be a crowning, it cannot be a coronation. The distribution of the positions cannot be made by some people behind closed doors. That's why I propose that in the right time, when we'll know the list of the candidates, I propose that in the first semester 2015, all the candidates will appear in front of the presidents of the FAs in the 6 continental confederations congresses in order to debate in front of the presidents.
Well, Manny Jasmi is the BBC World Football reporter. Manny, what are Jerome's credentials for this job?
Well, he was a member of Sepp Blatter's inner circle at FIFA for 11 years. He was basically Blatter's right-hand man until he was forced out by political infighting, though not forced out by Sepp Blatter. The two still remain extremely respectful of one another. Since those FIFA days, he's acted as a consultant for federations like Indonesia, Cyprus, Kosovo and Palestine. But now he finds himself in opposition with Blatter as the two begin the battle for world football's most powerful seat.
You mentioned they're respectful of each other, they're possibly friends. Should Sepp Blatter actually be worried?
Well, the evidence suggests not. I was in Sao Paulo just before the World Cup at the FIFA Congress, where all but one of the continental confederations gave Sepp Blatter a standing ovation. It was only Europe that refused to do that. So he feels on pretty firm ground, and it would seem, at least at the moment, that he enjoys a formidable strength.
All right, well, why is Champagne running when he has already really conceded that he can't beat Blatter?
Well, he said that when he launched his campaign in January, but he's certainly seeking to distance himself from that comment, and he's very spiky if you bring it up, actually, when you speak to him. He is putting himself forward as a reform candidate. He admits that he's very close to Sepp Blatter ideologically. The two are staunch believers in FIFA, and what Jerome Champagne says is that he wants to continue the good work that's happened under Sepp Blatter, but he wants to modernise the organisation and close the gap between the minority of haves and the vast majority of have-nots in the organisation.
All right, Manny, thank you very much for the latest there on Jerome Champagne running for the FIFA presidency. 3 consultants have been hired to help the NFL deal with issues relating to domestic violence and sexual assault. Commissioner Roger Goodall sent a memo to teams announcing the appointments of Lisa Friel, Jane Roundell and Rita Smith, as Mr Goodall has been under pressure over his handling of an abuse case involving star running back Ray Rice. Now, Rice has been suspended for punching his wife. The pair, seen here at a high school game at the weekend, both claim the incident is now behind them, but after footage of the incident surfaced, he was released by the Baltimore Ravens and suspended indefinitely by the league. The Minnesota Vikings reinstated their star running back Adrian Peterson on Monday, just a day after he was sat out of a 30-7 home loss to the New England Patriots after he was charged with allegedly beating his son with a wooden stick. The 29-year-old was charged with a felony in Texas, but the franchise say he will be allowed to train and play while the legal process is ongoing. Peterson is expected to play against the New Orleans Saints on Sunday.
Over the weekend, and early this morning, we gathered as much information as we possibly could, had multiple conversations with Adrian's attorneys, and met several times with Adrian personally. Based on all that, we made a decision that we felt was the right decision at this time.
West Indies cricketers have a huge lead against Bangladesh as they look to mark their 500th Test match with a win. The home side are 427 runs ahead with 6 wickets remaining going into the 4th day's play in St Lucia. After bowling the tourists out for 161, the Windies opted not to force Bangladesh to follow on and bat
Clouds in Sri Lanka and Australia pushed up the price of tea and beef. 90% of the world's farmers live in the developing world. If they're in an unaffected region, then the value of their crop yields increases. But when shoppers in huge USA and China, powerhouses of global economic growth, have to pay more for their food, it has a much greater impact. If they have less disposable income for luxury goods and expensive purchases, the economy starts to slow. And with global economic growth already predicted to be a sluggish 3% this year, droughts or floods anywhere in the world affect the spending power of people everywhere. And that's going to hurt jobs and wages. Business on the BBC. Make the connection.
Do you love taking pictures on holiday? Do you want to help save the planet? Well, now you can do both with this. The sun and cloud camera can be charged through USB, or if you're not near a power supply, you can charge it through the solar panel or with the hand crank. If you're somewhere where there isn't enough sunshine, you're going to have to use the hand crank at the side to get the power going. Now, the makers say you've got to rotate this between 100 to 150 times to get some charge. I feel a little challenge coming on. Can I have a clock, please? Thank you. And go. 98, 99, 100. How'd I do? Not bad. But all of that effort only gives you 1 minute's worth of charge, and my fingers are well and truly dented. When the camera is powered up, you get some really stylized shots using the inbuilt filters. But the photo resolution is only 3 megapixels, and most camera phones nowadays are way better than that. This is lovely. It's a camera with a heart, but it's just too bulky, and the resolution is too low. So until that gets sorted out, it's great in principle, just not in practice. What a pain having to travel with all of these wires and adapters for your e-readers, your tablets, your iPhones or your Android phones. It's a nightmare. Well, here's a way of surviving this techie tangle. The USB utility charge tool has 3 fold-out adapters that connect to your devices. If you did have 3 tablets rigged up to this all at the same time, you may struggle with space trying to make them all fit around this Swiss Army knife design, and you do need a flat surface to rest them on, otherwise the gadgets simply wouldn't be supported. But on a plus side, it's convenient, it's lightweight, it works, and it's a handy piece of kit to have to charge all 3 devices together without a wire in sight. When I go away, I'm all about getting great photos, and right now, everybody's taking selfies. So what I've got here is a piece of kit that will allow you to up your selfie game. The remote controls your phone's camera via Bluetooth. It can also connect to your music player. You'll still need somewhere just to prop the phone up, and it even took us a few minutes just to get this into position, but once it's set, you're good to go. You use the remote to take the pictures and also to control your music. So here goes. Look, no hands. You know what? I'm not even gonna look. Whew, end of a long day. I'm back in my hotel room and I'm looking forward to catching up with my favorite TV show, which I'd normally do on the laptop, but not this time. Today, I'm getting the big screen experience right here. The pocket projector beams images of up to 1.5 meters onto a flat surface. It connects to most devices via a HDMI cable, but for some Apple products, you'll need an adapter lead. Once you've set the projector up just a couple of meters away from the wall, you're nearly good to go. You've got a little focus wheel at the side that allows you to just sharpen that image up a bit. There you go, that's nice. And then at the top, you have a plus and minus button for your volume control. Now, the speakers in the projector are quite small and a little bit tinny. And if you're going to the effort of enjoying your programs on this big screen, then you may want to pack some travel speakers with you in your suitcase, which will plug straight in to the audio jack at the back. Right, that's it. I am good to go. Let's hit play on this and enjoy. I love this. Best show ever. He's brilliant. He's my favourite one. Woo-hoo. Yeah.
The Travel Show, your essential guide wherever you're heading every weekend on BBC World News.